if we want to change the narrative of Africa, we should start with education institutions, the teachers. Because these are people who have opportunities to address thousands of students at the same time. And these students have special attention given to them. So if we want to change the narrative of Africa, let's first start with teachers on their approach about African things. If you're going to teach African geography, emphasize it and let these kids be proud of where they come from. Thank you so much for joining me. It's your girl ERINAH, and I'm so appreciative that I get to share my opinions here. You guys give me your feedback, and so right now I'm negating this slide told us in our African homes that education is the key. And then they used to make us sing in school, education is success, education is success. I have seen broke professors. They have succeeded in education. Where are they successful in life? Education is success. Education is not the key. Okay, if it is the key, there must be a master key. Maybe that key even doesn't open all doors. It opens some doors and to some extent, and for only some rooms. This one I believed up to some point. I will not pass it to my children, but I know it's a lie. Education is the key. To what? And some of them emphasize it like education is the only key. Without education, you are finished. So this has frustrated a lot of school dropouts. There's nothing to be proud about dropping out from school, but with this background like education, you didn't make it, so you were a failure. Someone already feels they have failed once they have dropped out for the various reasons. Okay, maybe lack of tuition or something. Like they do not have this drive, like, oh, no, I have to fight hard. That's not the end of life. They are already in this kind of thing like, now I've not made it in life, now I'm a nobody, now I'm like, but there are people out there who have not finished with it. I'm not advocating for people to drop out of school, but I hope you get my point. Education is not the only key to success in this life. It is not. If I may say, it may not even be the key. Anyway, if it is the key, there must be a master key. So, they talk about education like if you don't go to school, you are finished. To some extent in Africa, if you not have school, you are finished. But I've grown to also understand that there is a way this school suppresses the innovation of African kids. It has suppressed our innovation, you guys. If you don't know, Africa, it is where civilization began. If you don't know. And most of the inventions and innovations started in Africa. But recently, there are very minimal things that can be traced to Africa. Why? Because of education. And by education, I mean the formal education. If they would say that the other kind of education that our elders used to pass to us is the key, that one I agree. But the education they mean is this formal education. I don't agree. There is a way it has suppressed our thinking and our creativity as Africans. First of all, our syllabus alone exalts everyone else apart from Africa. All it does to us is show us like how backward we are. And it is designed to make us slaves to us, a certain group of people, a certain people who have portrayed themselves as superior. You guys, I don't feel this education syllabus in my country, I'm talking to my country, that they are helping. They are killing talent. I am telling you, if you had talent, an African parent will emphasize your history more than your talent. Now, to make matters worse, our syllabus, we read about everything else. It is good to learn from other people because there is nothing new under the sun. Learn about Napoleon Bonaparte, learn from him, what his strengths, his weaknesses, but do not emphasize him alone as the Alpha and Omega. We had African leaders who fought. Like some of African countries were never colonized because of their strong leaders. Like Emperor Haile Selassie, is it Haile Selassie or something like that? I think it's from Ethiopia. Can't we dedicate quite some time to study those African things? But we emphasize, I spent a whole time, I will never stop talking about this. I spent a whole time studying Canadian prairies for what? Fishing in Colombia, in southern, is it southern St. Lawrence Seaway? Like, okay, give us a hint about those things and a few lessons we can take from them, but do not emphasize them over our things now. Fishing in Colombia, don't we fish on Lake Victoria? Huh? So everything about there is exalted. Timber in Colombia, farming, New York City, the New York City. It is good to know about it, for we can pick things from there. And these teachers, when they're teaching us, they make us feel like, you guys, I cannot break this down. I will never forget when a teacher gave an example and be like, and said in class, if you were white, like you guys, there are kids in the white, like those kids in America. Of course, everyone always tells America, America, which is okay. Be there in your America in peace. So, America, kids of your age, they have invented things because they are in America. But for us here, we cannot do anything. You are programming a little kid's mind, and they'll grow up knowing that since they are just in Africa, they are Africans, they cannot do anything. It's American kids, if I can even say it right, how you guys say it, that can do those things. We can do those. I'm told the first successful heart surgery was by an African. But then you'd be like, for us, our doctors here, they only treat but in America, in Europe, you guys, so that student you're training who wants to be a doctor will grow up limited. They feel just because they're in Africa, they can only end to a some level. You teachers, I think if we want to change the narrative of Africa, we should start with education institutions, the teachers. Because these are people who have opportunities to address thousands of students at the same time. And these students have special attention given to them. So if we want to change the narrative of Africa, let's first start with teachers on their approach about African things. If you're going to teach African geography, emphasize it and let these kids be proud of where they come from. Okay? But not saying, you see, those people have the St. Lawrence as if it is the physical features we have in Africa. I don't feel any other continent has. Okay? So, changing the narrative of Africa is going to start with teachers. They have a chance of meeting as many pupils as possible in the shortest time. And these pupils believe in them. They take whatever they say, like they are small gods in their own way. They can transform their mind. Okay? So, I do not believe education is the key. Yes, I don't. I've grown up to see people who have masters and they are not anywhere. What happened to the key? Did it get lost or what? People have doctorates, people are professors, and they are not successful. They are gnashing. What is the key then? If education was the key, all professors would be well off. Huh? I think it's high time our parents emphasized more on talent. So this education comes in as a polish, help you here and there, expand your thinking and get to know what is happening in other places, or get to know the dynamics around your talent. But here in Africa is where a parent will cane a kid for singing. You spend a lot of time singing. You are not minding your books. How are you going to become a lawyer like so and so's kid? Who told you I want to be a lawyer like that kid? How are you going to become a doctor like so and so? Who told you I want to be a doctor? How about supporting these kids in their various fields of interest? Because that's what some countries that are developing so fast are doing. If someone's good in football, let them, support them. So right now you're going to prioritize the football and not the education. I swear, in me and my kids, I'm not going to prioritize these things. Education is the key. I will never say those things in my house. Never. They're very misleading. They are wrong. It is not the key. And we've also been trained to feel like if you can't speak good English, you're not successful in life in Africa. Why? So, in my opinion, let talent be as emphasized as, I don't know, so much emphasized. Because everyone is uniquely gifted. But our education systems do not bring out that uniqueness in each and every one of us. They want to treat us as the same people, but we are not the same. We are different, different passions, different interests, different everything, different capabilities, different weaknesses, different strengths. But then we are being trained to be the same, which is impossible. Even the teacher will tell you, you see me, you have to be like me. A teacher, who told you I want to be like you? Huh. So I feel everything is wrong about the education systems in Africa. Everything is wrong. Oh, okay. There are people who are interested in the sciences, the technology, like the history, which is okay. Support them in their interest. But then do not kill their innovations, their creativity. Give them chance to innovate. In Africa is where you find an engineer who can't do anything. You cannot do anything. And most of you will testify with me about that. So what is this education? Is this still the key? It is not the key for me. Oh, it is not. But I just want to tell you, learning never stops. It's an African proverb that he who doesn't learn anymore is a dead one. So don't be dead. Continue learning, improving yourself, and correcting the mistakes that were passed on to us from our parents, of which they are not the ones to blame. They've grown up in those kinds of environment. I've told you, education is the key, is something that will never be hard in my home. And to my kids, I'll never say that. It is not the key. It is not the key. So I hope I expressed my points right. I just wish to thank all teachers who have taken chance to make us proud about our Africa, about our motherland. And I wish to talk to you all who were breaking us and making us feel guilty and feel bad about where we come from, that please change. And on this note, therefore, I wish to thank one of my university lecturers. I think he was Mr. Should I say the name? Mr. Why is the name going? He used to teach me energy, but at least he used to spare some time and encouraged us, motivated us, taught us to be proud of who we are and where we come from. Mr. Otim, yes, Mr. Otim. Thank you so much. I know he doesn't watch my vlogs, but at least I wish to thank him so much for that good work. I hope you really enjoyed this session. I really don't believe that education is the key, and I will never believe that. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you right in the next